Hello, my beautiful soul scribers. Happy Sunday. Here is your intuitive astrology and energy forecast for this upcoming week of Monday, February 16th through Sunday, February 22nd. We have a big week on deck energetically. We are all feeling this emotionally. There is a lot going on throughout the collective. It feels uncomfortable. It feels a little bit anxiety producing, or more than a little bit for some. It feels exciting and exhilarating at the same time. It's a mixed bag, but one thing is for certain, change is afoot. We all feel it. We are all here for this, through this, in these times that we are living through. And when you really think about that at a deeper level, we're in a time period where it's metamorphosis in motion. That's this year. But especially right now, this corner, this week is so significant. It's a marker. The energies of this week are going to flavor the next decade. Plus, our tagline is strike the spark, make your mark. This week carries the energy of the eclipse. We have a solar eclipse, new moon in Aquarius. At the time of this eclipse, it's also the Chinese New Year, the initiation of the year of the fire horse. The Chinese New Year always coincides with the Aquarius new moon, and this one happens to be an eclipse. So it's that much more powerful, that much more directed towards initiation, action, and change. Big change. Collective change and personal change. But that change is not going to be, boom, snap your fingers, done right here in front of us. No. It's going to span over a course of time. We're going to want to really look forward to these next 6 months to see the reverberations of this week and how the energy carries forth. The biggest piece of astrology for this week, and quite possibly the year, is the Saturn and Neptune alignment at 0 degrees of Aries. We have been talking about this Saturn and Neptune alignment since last year because it has technically been in effect, but it is reaching exactitude on February 20th this week. This is spiritual ignition, leadership, authoritative energy. Back to the tagline, strike the spark, make your mark. Monday the 16th, the moon is in Aquarius. Uranus is at 27 degrees of Taurus. Uranus, the planet of change and disruption, electricity, liberation, freedom, raw truth, most importantly. Uranus is in what we call a square to the sun, which is a tense aspect. It's an aspect of a little bit of friction. We're dealing with Aquarius because the sun is in Aquarius, and we're dealing with Uranus because Uranus is in the sign of Taurus. These are two energies moving towards the later end of the sign that are very, very rooted to their position. Positively speaking, there could be some changes that come in that set you on a different course correcting you, let's say, even if it's disruptive, especially when it's disruptive. We're also right at the heels of this solar eclipse. So we're under the eclipse activation energy as we start this week off. It's a wild card. And I always like to mention weeks like this, really do your best to stay present in your body, to stay grounded, to stay connected, to rest where you can, rest where you need to. Don't speak more than you have to. Don't overcommit. Don't overburden your schedule. Don't overburden yourself. Protect your energy because you will likely feel depleted this week. Everything is speeding up and then slowing down at the same time. And it can really spin us out. Our emotions can feel taxed. Our nervous system can feel taxed. Our energy just all over the place can feel very frenetic. And we're also highly emotional right now, supercharged. So just take good care. Focus on what you would like to initiate in your own life in the realm of change. Where do you envision yourself to go boldly, or to change direction, or to change something that you haven't up until this point been able to really grasp or make the change with? It's time for you to be your own authority, be the boss in your own reality. You are the co-creator, like I always say, you are the co-creator with spirit, of course, of your destiny. Yes, things happen at times that are out of our control, but we also have free will. Fate and free will coexist together. There's a strong recognition of that as we move throughout this week with all of the aha moments, the epiphanies, the revelations, the sudden endings, and then the new beginnings. One door opens, another one closes, etc. Welcome to eclipse season. Back to Monday, the moon's in Aquarius, Uranus is squaring the sun. Mercury is in a trine to Jupiter. That's really nice. That's cute. We like that. It's kind of soft and muted with everything else going on this week, but it's there. Our intuitive antennae is up, as are our emotions. Tuesday the 17th, 7:01 a.m. Eastern Time, we have our new moon, which is a solar eclipse, an annular solar eclipse in the sign of Aquarius, the visionary, the agent of change. This is where we absorb and observe and then pour back in to the collective. The full reading for this solar eclipse, I'll link it below in this post. But this eclipse, this new moon, is pretty much in an exact square to Uranus, which can be very disruptive. But I always like to say with Uranus, the divine disruptor is how we refer to Uranus, because the disruption is necessary. And Uranus never takes down really sturdy structures. Okay, well, sometimes it does, but typically it does not. It typically works with faulty structures. I'm speaking metaphorically and sometimes literally. The seismic activity will be very heightened. It already is, but moving into this week, moving into the next few weeks, especially as we lead up to the equinox, this will increase. But the tempo, the pace will also increase. So that goes back to protecting your peace, protecting your body, keeping up with your minerals, not overextending yourself, not saying yes when you really want to say no, when you need to take a rest, when you need to take a break. You will not get any awards or any recognition for burning yourself out. So we have the solar eclipse in Aquarius. Also, Happy New Year. It's the Chinese New Year, the year of the fire horse. Venus will align with the North Node. And right off the heels of that eclipse, the moon will then go void, and it will enter Pisces at 9:09 a.m. Eastern Time. So this week is set to feel a little bit emotional, especially when we get to Tuesday and moving into Wednesday. Because on Wednesday, Pisces season begins. Happy birthday to all of our Pisces souls. It is your season. It is your time to shine. The sun will enter Pisces on the 18th, Wednesday, at 10:52 a.m. Eastern Time. The sun entering Pisces kicks off a season of increased empathy, intuition, compassion, and emotion, with sometimes the potential to be overly sensitive, overly emotional. Positively speaking, collectively speaking, we all operate under the energy of Pisces while the sun is in Pisces. So the air can definitely have a more strong layer of magic to it, imagination, intuition, compassion, and empathy. It's a great season to connect to yourself, connect to soul, which can then help you to further connect with others. And the moon in Pisces will also harmonize with the North Node. That moon in Pisces will also align with the North Node of Destiny, Venus, and Mercury. So something can be revealed to you via subtle means of information, meaning through the dream space, through a song, intuition, synchronicity. Synchronicity is patterning, right? That's what synchronicity is. It's the patterns in our everyday life. So if there's a specific animal that keeps coming up into your path or into your awareness, there's a message there for you. If there's a certain song where the same line keeps showing up for you, there's a message there for you. If you feel that it's a sign, it's a sign. Follow the signs. The dream space will be very active throughout all of Pisces season, but especially Tuesday into Wednesday into Thursday. Thursday the 19th, the moon will go void at 10:23 a.m. Eastern Time, and it will enter Aries at 2:39 p.m. Eastern Time. So while the moon is void, meaning it's completed making its major aspects to all the planets while it was in the sign of Aries. And now it has completed that, and it is essentially floundering in the ethers until the moon gets back on track in the sign of Aries. Excuse me, I said leaving Aries and moving into Pisces. I meant it the opposite way. The moon will leave Pisces at 10:23 a.m., and then it will move into Aries at 2:39 p.m. Eastern Time. That time period right there, while the moon is void from Pisces moving into Aries, if there's something that you need to ask for example, that requires you to be in your confidence and requires a lot of courage, like a conversation with a superior or something that has to do with a court case that you're trying to win, obviously, I would wait until the moon gets on track in Aries. Because remember, Aries is the pioneer. It's the first sign. It's fire. It's action. We're in eclipse season. So it just would pay to, if you have any important emails that have to go out where you're looking for the reply that benefits you, for example, I would hold off and not do it while the moon is void. I would wait for the moon to get on track in Aries. Not every void moon period will be the same, and you won't ever really hear me make a big deal about that, as you know. But in this case, since it is such a big week with a lot of changing of the guards energy, a lot of the planets are shifting, and there's a lot of wild card energy. If you can wait, just wait. If not, just do away with what I just said and just be in the energy. Once that moon gets into Aries right off the top, it aligns with both Saturn and Neptune. This can really bring us a burst of energy. It's a highlighted energy. It's quite quick. And you can feel a very strong focus on your goals, on your wishes, on your desires. And you can really feel driven to ask and to really feel pushed and driven to ask for what you need, to ask for what you want. And you should. It's also about taking responsibility, owning our stuff, being accountable. And then on Friday, the 20th, this is the monster transit, the big transit, Saturn conjunct Neptune at 0 degrees of Aries. This is a big part of the new paradigm. We are collectively being catapulted into a new way of thinking, of being, of living, collectively and personally. On the individual level, you can focus on what you have to do to make the intangible, to make what's been in the background come to life, take center stage. It's also about how you can be more responsible and more disciplined while also being aligned with your spiritual self, being guided, allowing your intuition to guide you. Aries is fire. Fire is fast. Fire is hot. Saturn in Aries is a little bit challenging because Saturn wants to stomp out the fire, or at least not let it burn in totality, where Neptune in Aries wants to dissolve the boundary that Saturn is implementing. But nonetheless, it's fire energy. It's the spark of initiation. If you know your birth chart, or even if you don't, you should look to the part of your chart that contains Aries, because this is the areas of your life where you're going to really be experiencing this connection to the Saturn-Neptune in Aries energy. This is where you will be asked to bring forth that individual energy that you carry, that we all carry. Bring forth your leadership skills, have courage, have faith. Spiritual discipline meets reality. It's about taking what's been internal and bringing it outward, within reason, of course. We also have Mars now at 22 degrees of Aquarius, aligned with Chariklo at 22 degrees of Aquarius. Who is Chariklo? Chariklo is the wife of Chiron, the wounded healer, the wounded warrior. Chariklo is all about healing and medicine. Chariklo has a gift, was known for her gift of holding and creating wisdom and space for healing. She had a grace and a graciousness about her. So there's a reminder here with Mars in Aquarius about implementing that, especially when it comes to the collective. Aquarius is the sign of the collective consciousness, humanity, the future, making things better, and being able to detach and see things from the bigger picture energy, the higher vantage point. Chariklo is an asteroid, by the way. She's not a planet. She's very significant, and she's very pronounced right now as she's aligned with Mars as we move around this Saturn-Neptune conjunction, which is not a coincidence. Pluto's also in Aquarius. This is all about the people. These themes are repeated throughout the astrology all year long and have been for the past few years. So this is like our healing council and the ability to activate that for ourselves and for others. Saturday, the 21st, the moon in Aries will harmonize with Mars in Aquarius and Chariklo, taking action toward healing in some capacity. It could be very minor. It could be very personal. It'll be different for everybody. And then the moon will enter Taurus, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time on Saturday. Great time to chill, to connect to self, engage in the senses, and be very present. And then on Sunday, the 22nd, we end the week here with something really sweet. We have Venus in Pisces at 15 degrees, trining Jupiter in Pisces at 15 degrees. This is a soft energy. It's very sweet. It's very gentle. It's very loving. It has the love energy attached to it. It's in higher vibration here. We've got Venus exalted in Pisces, Jupiter exalted in Cancer. These two planets are in signs that they favor, that they prefer. We love love under this energy. This is like love bubble energy. It can be, I should say. Jupiter also lends the capacity to overdo things. So we can be overly emotional, overly giving, overly loving. We may have to reel it in a little bit, or we may have it pointed out to us where we may have been, or where we might be being too much, where we might have to pull back and reel it in, but it's all out of love. This is a harmonious aspect. It's strong, heartfelt energy. And the moon in Taurus will square off with Pluto in Aquarius, and then it will harmonize with the sun and the north node and also the south node. So I do like Sunday. I have to say, out of the whole entire week, I would say that I favor Saturday and Sunday, specifically Sunday. It's a big week, a lot of energy that can go either way. So we have to be very conscious and very aware of what we are absorbing, what we are observing, what we are subscribing to, what we are allowing ourselves to be a part of, to actively participate in. The Saturn, Neptune, and Aries energy, it's going to hold all of us accountable. When these energies were in Pisces, it was very different flavor. We can kind of bury our heads in the sand when we're dealing with Pisces energy. We can numb out, we can check out, we can spiritually bypass. Not Saturn and Neptune in Aries though, such a different energy. But this will not be immediate, but you will feel the shift. You've probably already been feeling it. There's a fire bubbling up, a heat. We all want to take action for what we believe in. And we do that with gusto, but also in integrity and authenticity. That's what's being asked of all of us right now. And the more that we do that individually, the more that we can do that collectively. Let me pull a tarot card, for this week ahead. Let me know how you're all feeling. Mercury is getting ready to station retrograde at this point as well. So communication can definitely feel like it's a little bit more challenging to say what you mean and mean what you say. Or it could be that what you're saying is not landing the way you intend for it to. This is probably a really good week to also double check, triple check, back up your files, everything that you've been, leaving for a rainy day. Now may be the time to check into it because Mercury will be stationing retrograde soon. So you aren't going to really want to launch or start anything too new simply because it's going to be a little bit of a confusing, not bad, but nebulous. It's Pisces. You got the Knight of Wands. I always find it, I shouldn't say this, but I was going to say, you can't make this up. I always find it just amazingly awesome how the cards always reflect what we're talking about for this week ahead. I mean, I guess that's the way it goes, right? I should know that. Synchronicity. The Knight of Wands, this is pure fire. Now, I find this, for many reasons, so literal for this week because we're talking about the pure potential of fire and the action, taking action and moving forward quickly. Also got the horse. The knights ride horses. The Knight of Wands is on the horse. It's a very fast moving knight. We are entering the year of the fire horse this week at the time of the solar eclipse. This is a very strong initiation point. There's a lot of passion here. So the message is to really define what you're passionate about. Define what lights you up. And if you say nothing, that's not true. Define some things, anything that lights you up, that brings you joy, and vibe on that. Let doors open for you. Hold doors for others and allow doors to open for you. Strong eclipse energy as we cross this threshold. I'm speaking metaphorically about the doors, but of course it's always nice to hold the doors for others, right? And it's always nice when they hold the door for us. That is the energy of this week. Remember, strike the spark, make your mark. Long term. This is a long-term tagline, not just this week. This week strikes the spark, or further strikes the spark for you to make your mark. Take really good care. I will be back soon. And on the topic of spiritual chit-chat, astrology, energy, intuition, all of that, in the comments, please let me know if there's a specific topic that you would like me to talk about, where I could do a live stream. You can ask questions if there's anything astrology related that you want to understand more of. Because honestly, there's so much that I can talk about that I often have a hard time, pigeonholing and picking one thing. So I'd love to hear what some of you are very interested in, or what you would like to hear more about, or what you would like to learn more about, to give me some ideas for future live streams, because I will be going live very shortly. You'll be receiving an email from me, okay? I'll see you next week. Bye.